When I first started my business, I thought that I was at a massive disadvantage from all of the bigger companies and competitors that I had already established. However, what I did not anticipate was having so many advantages as a beginner. Listen up. Your limitations are their weaknesses. You see, depending on the level of barriers to entry for the business or service offering you choose to do, you will always have advantages that your competitor doesn't just by being new and smaller. Let me break it down for you. When you're a small business or solo entrepreneur, you have all the flexibility in the world to identify the latest technology and implement it for your business. Meaning, your competitors need to go through this entire process to vet, approve, and implement. In fact, one of the most competitive advantages that my company had early on was that we would integrate Slack for our clients. Meaning, whenever we would get a new client, we would add them into a Slack channel, which would allow us to have easy flowing two-way communication with our client. And they loved it. No bigger marketing company was doing this because they had not fully adopted it yet. Nowadays, Slack is a common tool used across many agencies and business owners. The ability to implement, adopt technology and the latest technology is one of the key advantages that small businesses have. Granted, larger, heavier technology like Salesforce may be a little bit out of budget for small businesses. However, this is where you get to play and have fun and create your own systems and modalities that don't cost as much money to support you in the beginning. Another common advantage that small business owners and entrepreneurs have that big companies don't is time. That's right. You may feel like you don't have enough hours in the day, but believe me, if you are dedicating 40, 80, 100, whatever hours a week you want to developing your skill and getting it up to date with the latest news, the latest modalities, the latest technology, believe me that there is a wide open net for you to become the best at whatever service product offering you're choosing. You can be the best because you are able to move faster and focus longer on actually developing this product or developing this skill set. You see, oftentimes, larger companies have employees that are only working the bare minimum. They don't necessarily care to be working 100 hours a week because it's not their business. So when it comes to time, you have this abundance of time to really focus in and hone in on your craft. And this is a huge advantage to every new business owner. Pivoting. Flexibility is another huge advantage that small business owners and entrepreneurs have over larger corporations. Oftentimes, I see small business owners getting frustrated because their processes are changing, their visions are changing, their services are changing. That this is natural. This is part of the process. This is part of being a small and nimble company. You are able to fluidly change your vision. You're able to fluidly change your products and services. And your response time is faster because you have less bells and whistles or hoops to jump through to get something changed. Let's connect this to real life. In fact, just the other day, I was watching a video from Russ, an independent artist. Russ talks about how he was able to film a video with Ed Sheeran on the whim because he was able to self-finance it. And he didn't have to go through all of the weeks of approval process to get this project greenlit. You see, him being an independent artist and having a couple of advantages with money and time, he is able to actually move faster and get projects that are super exciting for him. And he is able to work into his creative juices without interrupting the flow of his fun. You see, creativity is all about flow and expansion and fun and abundance. When you're going through all this red tape to get the creativity actually approved, it kind of steals away a little of the creative thunder. Here's the deal. Larger companies have extremely creative individuals in their organization. However, they have all of these approvals that they have to go through to get their creative artistry to life. You, my friend, have zero. You have you, yourself, and you. Small businesses have less red tape, so the creative talent can flourish even more because their ideas will actually come to life and there'll be less editing involved in the process. Therefore, small businesses have a huge advantage when it comes to creativity. Bigger visions. Small businesses are able to have bigger visions, bigger than life visions. And the reason being is that they don't have an organization full of hundreds of people limiting their vision and telling them what they can or can't do. In fact, at one point, Amazon was a small company with a really big vision. And it was this big vision that had Amazon beat out its competitors and leave them in the dust. Because retail competitors weren't shifting their vision and expanding it to be bigger, small businesses like Amazon at the time were able to come in and disrupt the industry. Now, you may be thinking, Melissa, I don't have as much money as my big competitors. So how do you overcome that? Yes, you may not have as much money as big competitors, but you probably have a big dream. And in this big dream, you are able to recruit and identify people who truly believe in your vision, who want to be a part of something that turns out great. You see, oftentimes we think to ourselves, the bigger companies have so much money, so they have the best talent. They didn't always have that. At some point, they were a small company who had to recruit a group of hungry creatives that wanted to be a part of something bigger. There's a lot of people in big companies that have been with them since day one, unless it's a legacy company. Even as a small business, you still have the opportunity to recruit resources that are extremely talented and actually get them on board into a vision. In fact, one of my favorite shows, Undercover Billionaire, does exactly this. Glenn, the founder of Undercover Billionaire, illustrates this example so perfectly. He showcases how an undercover billionaire with only $100, a cell phone, and a car can recruit a group of individuals to believe in him in building one of the best barbecue restaurants in that little city. And he actually makes it come to life. It didn't take him money to actually build a business. It took him creativity, ingenuity, and passion and momentum and excitement. And these are all things that small business owners and entrepreneurs have that bigger corporations tend to lose as time goes on. And last but not least, you as a small business owner or entrepreneur have less legal implications and faster timelines. Larger corporations have big, expensive legal teams. And it's not because they're necessarily inclined to follow every single rule. It's because they have so much to lose if they don't. As a small business owner and entrepreneur, your risk to lose is a lot smaller because you don't have as many fixed costs or overhead as larger corporations have. In addition to that, you don't have a reputation. Big companies have to be extremely careful about their reputation, and everything they say or do is up for public scrutiny. As a small business or entrepreneur, you have more wiggle room to make mistakes. You can mess up a client or two. Yes, that will happen. And it won't be the end of the world because nobody will know who you are. You can mess up an order or two because people will forget. In fact, PayPal is one of my favorite company examples about this. At some point, they were growing so fast that they literally decided to unplug their telephones. That's right. The whole company was up in roars because they couldn't believe that they were literally going to unplug their phones for customer service. But the executive team had to make a decision. And at this point, it was either fix the problem and unplug or keep trying to battle and be reactive. And you see, PayPal still made it out fine, and a lot of people don't even know about this story. All this to say that as a small business owner or entrepreneur craving to start your own business, there's more advantages to your favor than you think. To learn more about starting a business, launching a business, and building a 7-figure business, hit the subscribe button, follow for more content, and let me know what you think.